Welcome to the April 29th to 30th, 2021 board meeting. My name is Greg Lippy, President of the Board. Before we convene, I remind everyone present that the board is a consumer protection agency charged with administering and enforcing pharmacy law. Where protection of the public is inconsistent with other interests sought to be promoted, the protection of the public shall be paramount. This meeting is being conducted consistent with the provisions of Governor Gavin Newsom's Executive Order N-2920. Participants watching the webcast will only be able to observe the meeting. Anyone interested in participating in the meeting must join the WebEx meeting. Information and instructions are posted on our website. As I facilitate this meeting, I will announce when we are accepting public comment. I ask the meeting moderator to allot 2 minutes to each individual providing comments. This approach is necessary to facilitate the meeting. I appreciate everyone's understanding and patience as we continue to navigate this meeting format. Before we get started, I will ask the moderator to provide general instructions. Moderator, please provide the instructions.
This is the moderator. For public comment today, we will be utilizing the WebEx Q&A feature. When the board president calls for public comment, I will open the Q&A feature and display these instructions for your use and reference. To request to submit a public comment, you will click and click on the Q&A . Before your time expires, and then upon expiration of your time, I will mute your microphone and move on to our next public commenter. Thank you.
Thank you, moderator. I will now take a roll call to establish a quorum. Members, as I call your name, please remember to open your line before speaking. I'll begin with Jig Patel. Jig, are you unmuted?
Here.
Thank you. Ricardo Sanchez.
Here.
Thank you. Albert Wong.
Here.
Thank you. Debbie Veal.
Here.
Thank you. Shirley Kim.
Here.
Thank you. Cheryl Butler.
Here.
Thank you. Maria Serpa.
Here.
Thank you. Sung Oh.
Here.
Thank you. Jason Weiss. Jason.
Here.
Okay,
Here.
thank you. And I'm here, so we have our quorum. Now that we've established a quorum, the board will now entertain any public comments for items not on the agenda. To facilitate this portion of the meeting, as I previously announced, the moderator will open the line for individuals to provide the opportunity for public comment. You are not required to identify yourself, but you may do so. As we open the lines, I remind everyone that the board cannot take action on these items except to decide whether to place an item on a future agenda. Members, following review of the public comments for this agenda item, I will ask members to comment on what, if any, items should be placed on a future agenda. Please open the lines for public comment, moderator.
This is the moderator. We have opened the Q&A panel. If you'd like to make a public comment, please click on the icon on your screen. That is a QA with a question mark inside of a square. Type "I would like to make a comment" into the text field, and then submit that to all panelists. Our first comment comes from Andre Petiers. I apologize if I mispronounced your name. Your line is open and you will have 2 minutes.
Good afternoon, Andre Peters, a registered pharmacist. On July 2019, the new law on automated drug delivery systems, also known as ADDS, went into effect. At the time, it seemed pretty straightforward in that it allowed for devices to be placed in retail pharmacy locations and long-term care facilities. In rural settings where pharmacies maintain limited hours, the ER doctor may give a small 72-hour or less supply of medications to patients when pharmacies are closed to see them through until the time that retail pharmacies open again. I was surprised to find out recently that there was an interpretation by the board that many Pyxis machines in ERs of mostly rural hospitals must be licensed. And in talking to pharmacist colleagues, it became clear to me that most seem to think that because the ER is a CDPH licensed space inside a hospital, it is exempt from the new licensure requirement. I want to know that most hospitals have been using these devices for over a decade, long before there was the new ADDS law that came into effect. To add to the confusion, the ADDS self-assessment specifically does not include general acute care hospitals in Section 6 of the assessment. And I would like to ask the board to be aware of this widespread misunderstanding and to investigate and review if this interpretation is valid and in line with the original intent of the law, and also how the licensing requirement disproportionately singles out rural hospitals and affects communities with limited resources. If it is found to be valid, I would like to ask the board to educate pharmacists and give those with a legacy practice the opportunity to get the devices licensed, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next comment comes from Sandra Martinez. Sandra, your line is open and you will have 2 minutes.
Hi, I'm here today because of concerns about restrictions placed on pharmacists regarding medications for COVID patients. It has been overwhelmingly documented in peer-reviewed studies that hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin are successful therapies, and I know you were made aware of this last spring because I sent you emails citing the literature. In 2005, even Dr. Fauci published a paper concluding that hydroxychloroquine is effective for SARS-CoV, a close relative to SARS-CoV-2. Based on the figures provided by the California government, approximately 60,000 people have died of COVID in our state. Hydroxychloroquine has conclusively shown to reduce coronavirus deaths by 85%. Doing simple math, that means roughly 50,000 people died needlessly in California. Rather than creating solutions for effective citizens, the board chose to censor the filling of hydroxychloroquine prescriptions for patients. Similar to thousands of other Californians, my mother and I were negatively impacted by your actions. She lives in a facility. I was not able to see her for a year due to the unscientific mandates and fear put into healthcare facilities for noncompliance. She deteriorated rapidly in her year of isolation. When I was eventually able to see her, we no longer had any quality interaction as she had lost the ability to communicate. Had hydroxychloroquine been available as a preventative, the enacted draconian measures could have been avoided. Ivermectin and HCQ are very safe. They've been available for 50 and 60 years, respectively. HCQ is the most widely used drug in the world. Millions of people take it safely, year upon year. The science of HCQ is clear despite the censorship and misinformation disseminated by Big Pharma, its government representatives, and their media arms. Even the once prestigious Lancet published a fabricated study lambasting HCQ, which was later retracted. Why would any agency restrict the use of such a safe and effective medication? Certainly it's not for the benefit of the people.
10
What
seconds.
is certain is that a vaccine cannot receive emergency use authorization if there is an effective treatment available. In the situation of COVID-19, despite there being a number of effective treatments available, each with numerous publications demonstrating efficacy, every single treatment has been vilified by government agents and stakeholders, many of whom have a vested financial interest in vaccine manufacturing.
Time has expired.
I would like
Thank you for your comment.
Seeing no more requests, would you like me to close the panel?
Yes, please. Okay, members having received public comment, I would like to ask you if you would like to place anything on a future agenda related to the public comments.
Hi, Greg, this is Debbie.
Mm-hmm.
The first person who spoke about the ADDS licensing,
Yes.
I think we should put that on a future agenda, and I'd, leave it up to the board president and the executive officer to decide whether it's licensing to go back and look at the question he posed, or if it's public ed to work on educating the appropriate hospitals. It sounds like rural hospitals on becoming licensed. But I think that it sounds like that warrants some action.
Yeah, it sounds like it may first go to licensing and then after determination, go to public ed. But I agree, it should go on the future agenda.
I
Do
can
any-
second that for Debbie. This is Song.
Yeah, okay. So we have a motion and a second. Now we'll go to, do we have any other member comments related to this? Okay, hearing none. And hearing no more requests for adding anything to a future agenda. Let's go to public comment.
This is the moderator. We have again opened the Q&A panel. If you'd like to make any final comments on this item, please click on your Q&A icon on your screen, type "I would like to make a comment" into the text field, and submit that to all panelists. Seeing none, would you like me to close the panel?
Yes, please. Okay, we have a motion, we have a second, so I'll take a vote. Start with Jason Weiss.
Yes.
Thank you. Cheryl Butler.
Yes.
Thank you. Shirley Kim.
Yes.
Thank you. Debbie Veal.
Yes.
Thank you. Maria Serpa.
Yes.
Thank you. Sung Oh.
Yes.
Thank you. Jig Patel.
Yes.
Thank you. Albert Wong.
Yes.
Thank you. Ricardo Sanchez.
Yes.
Thank you. And I vote yes, so the motion passes. Now we move on to agenda item 3, approval of board meeting minutes. Included in the meeting materials are draft minutes from the January 27th to 28th, 2021 and March 18th, 2021 board meetings. Also included are the October 27th to 28th, 2020, which include corrections to previously approved minutes. I will be asking for questions or comments and motions for each of the minutes separately. First, are there any questions or comments regarding the minutes for January 27th to 28th of 2021? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the January 27, 28, 2021 board meeting minutes.
Thank you,
And I'll
Jig.
second that.
Thank you,
Ricardo.
Ricardo.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Now we will go to public comment.
This is the moderator. If you'd like to make a public comment on the board meeting minutes up for discussion, please click on the Q&A icon on your screen, type "I would like to make a comment" into the text field, and submit that to all panelists.
Seeing no comments, let's close it up.
I will close it.
Thank you. Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Let's take our vote. I'll start with Shirley Kim.
Yes.
Thank you. Cheryl Butler.
Yes.
Thank you. Maria Serpa.
Yes.
Thank you. Debbie Veal.
Yes.
Thank you. Ricardo Sanchez.
Yes.
Thank you. Jig Patel.
Yes.
Thank you. Albert Wong.
Yes.
Thank you. Sung Oh.
Yes.
Thank you. Jason White.
Yes.
Thank you. And I vote yes. Motion passed. Next, we'll be going on to the minutes for the meeting of March 18th, 2021. Does anybody have any questions or comments on the March 18th meeting minutes? Hearing none, does anybody have a motion?
Motion to accept the March 18th board meetings.
And,
Ricardo?
and this is Cheryl. A second.
Thank you, Sharon. Okay, let's go on to public comment regarding the minutes of March 18th.
This is the moderator. We've again opened the Q&A panel. If you'd like to make any public comments on this set of minutes, please click on the Q&A icon on your screen. Type "I would like to make a comment" into the text box and submit that to all panelists.
Okay, I think we can close it.
We will close it.
Thank you. Okay, we have a motion. We have a second to approve the March 18th minutes. So I'll take a roll call vote, and I'll start with Chig Patel.
Yes.
Thank you. Ricardo Sanchez.
Yes.
Thank you. Albert Wong.
Yes.
Thank you. Debbie Veal.
Yes.
Thank you. Shirley Kim.
Yes.
Thank you. Al Butler.
Yes.
Thank you. Maria Serpa.
Yes.
Thank you. Sung Oh.
Yes.
Thank you. Jason Weiss.
Yes.
Thank you. I vote yes. So we will move on to the corrected minutes of October 27th to 28th of 2020. Do you have any comments or questions regarding the corrections? Hearing none, I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second it. This Jig.
Thank you, Jake. Okay. Let's open for public comment.
Again, we've opened the Q&A panel. If you'd like to make a comment on this set of minutes, please click on the Q&A icon on your screen. Type "I would like to make a comment" into the text field and submit that to all panelists.
Okay.
And seeing none, I'll close.
Great, thank you. Okay, it's time to vote. I will start with Maria Serpa.
Yes.
Thank you. Cheryl Butler.
Yes.
Thank you. Jason Weiss.
Yes.
Thank you. Sung Oh.
Yes.
Thank you. Shirley Kim.
Yes.
Thank you. Debbie Veal.
Yes.
Thank you. Ricardo Sanchez.
Yes.
Thank you. Albert Wong.
Yes.
Thank you. Jig Patel.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, we'll now move on to agenda item 4. I will now welcome Carrie Holmes, Deputy Director, Board and Bureau Relations, to provide the board with an update from the Department of Consumer Affairs. Welcome, Carrie. The floor is yours.
Thank you, and good afternoon, Board President Lippy and members. I'm Carrie Holmes, Deputy Director of Board and Bureau Relations at the Department of Consumer Affairs. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity to provide a department update to the board. I'd like to share a few updates to DCA's executive team. In January, Governor Newsom appointed Monica Vargas to the role of Deputy Director of Communications at the Department of Consumer Affairs. Monica was an information officer in the Governor's Office of Emergency Services, since 2015. She was previously an information officer at DCA, and we are lucky to have her back. In February, Governor Newsom appointed Sarah Murillo as Deputy Director of Administrative Services at DCA. Ms. Murillo has gained a wide range of experience in her nearly 20 years of service to Californians in various state departments, including California Complete Count Census 2020. Ms. Murillo brings a skill set that makes her well suited to support all the entities within our department. Her appointment fills the final vacancy in DCA's executive office, and we are so pleased that she has joined us. One of our top priorities in DCA Board and Bureau Relations is board appointments. DCA and all the appointing authorities share the goal of a fully seated, diverse, and effective board. Currently, the Board of Pharmacy has 3 vacancies. There are 2 public members and 1 licensee member vacancy. Sadly, the board also has 2 members who are currently in their grace periods and have already served 2 terms, so they will not be eligible for another appointment. Filling current and upcoming vacancies is a priority, and this board will be in need of both public and licensee members. If any board members think one of their colleagues would be a great candidate, talk to them and ask them to apply. If any licensees or members of the public attending the meeting are interested in serving, please find the link titled Board Member Resources on DCA's homepage to apply for an appointment. Individuals may also reach out to Board and Bureau Relations, and we'll be happy to help guide you through the process. DCA would like to express gratitude for the ongoing service of all board members, especially through the challenges of the past year. Thank you as well to your executive officer and board staff who have been working so hard to maintain excellent customer service. COVID-19 has affected every aspect of our work for more than a year now. DCA offices remain open with preventative measures to safeguard the health and safety of our employees and visitors. Boards and bureaus are looking ahead to what changes can be made permanent for employee well-being and efficiency, such as telework and eliminating paper processes. I encourage everyone to visit DCA's COVID-19 webpage for updates and resources on the state's reopening plans, public health guidance, vaccinator resources, vaccine distribution, and more. DCA is receiving many questions about when and how boards will be able to meet again in person. I don't have a definitive answer today, but I would like to offer some clarification. As you know, the ability of the board to meet remotely, as you're doing today, is tied to the governor's executive orders and the state of emergency. When those are lifted, the board will be required to follow all aspects of the Open Meetings Act, including publicly noticed and accessible locations. We do not yet know when this will happen or if any changes in the law will occur before that date. DCA will do all it can to assist the boards and bureaus to transition safely and with enough time to plan for in-person meetings. While we continue remote meetings, DCA has created a video background, if you'd like to use it, with the DCA logo that board members can use. If you'd like your board's logo added to the graphic, please let us know, and the communications team would be happy to help. As always, Board and Bureau Relations is here to help. If there's anything we can do to assist, please reach out. This concludes my update, and I'll hand it back over to Board President Lippy.
Thank you, Carrie. Members, do you have any questions or comments for Ms. Holmes?
Greg, this is Debbie. I have one question. So I understand when the emergency is lifted, the board will be meeting in person, but there'll still be an opportunity, as I think it happened in the past, for the public to participate remotely, correct?
That has been an option in the past, and we just aren't sure now if there'll be any other changes that would allow for other aspects of a remote meeting.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Do any other members have questions for Ms. Holmes? Okay, let's open up for public comment. See if the public has any comments or questions.
This is the moderator. We have opened the Q&A panel. If you'd like to submit a public comment, please click on the Q&A icon on your screen. Type "I would like to make a comment" into the text field and submit that to all panelists.
Okay.
We have we do have one comment.
Oh, we do. Good.
Richie Duenas. And Richie, your line is open and you will have 2 minutes.
Hi there. Thank you. Richie Duenas from Mercury Pharmacy. I had a question about board appointments and what is the best way to submit any questions regarding how to look for an appointment.
Is Carrie unmuted?
Yes, anyone who would like to ask about appointments is free to email me. It's Carrie Holmes, carrie.holmes@dca.ca.gov. You could also go to the board member resources page on DCA's website, and that has all the information for the various appointment types.
Seeing no further requests for comment, would you like me to close the panel?
Yes, please.
It is closed.
Okay, before we move on to agenda item 5, I have a few things to say. I am sincerely honored and proud to have served as board president for the past almost 2 years and as a board member for almost 12 years. Although I'm not a pharmacist, I have great admiration and respect for the profession. I've truly enjoyed working with all the board members over the years and with all stakeholders, and I very much appreciate all of the help I received and the hard work, days, nights, and weekends done by our outstanding executive officer, Ann Sodergren, who is really my hero. I also extend my thanks for jobs well done to Debbie Damath, Susan Capello, Christine Acosta, and our entire staff who have done an amazing job with all of the heavy lifting. I served my allowable time on the board, and my last meeting will be on May 27th. I will miss you all. Now it's time for agenda item 5, board officer election.
Can I make a comment, Greg?
Yes.
Yes,
Please,
great.
go ahead.
I have been served you with quite a few years now, and I really appreciate your service. I mean, you surprised me. You did a great job. So I'm happy that that you've been the president last 2 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Albert. Very much appreciated. Okay.
I'd like to also say that I have appreciated the 8 years I've been able to serve with you. And the 2 years that you've been president, I'm just, you have just been really superb, and I appreciate your leadership.
Thank you, Cheryl. I've
Hey,
really enjoyed being with you too.
hey, Greg,
And
this
with
is
Albert and everybody. Yes.
Debbie. Well, I wasn't surprised that you did a good job. But I did think you did a very good job as a board president. You're very level and handled yourself very well. And I think you were here on the board when I got here, and you've kind of been my buddy and mentor all along. So I do appreciate everything that you've done, the service that you have had, and I appreciate you also honoring our board staff because they do work super hard, and I'm not sure they get the kudos they deserve.
Yeah, they truly deserve it. And thank you, everybody. Now I think we need to move on. So to board officer elections. As included in our member procedure manual, officers shall serve 1-year term effective June 1 and may be reelected for consecutive terms. Members, I will now begin nominations, accepting nominations for the office of president, beginning with my own nomination of our excellent vice president, Debbie Veal.
And
Now,
I have a nomination, Greg.
yes.
Yeah, I would nominate Sang O to be the president.
Thank you, Albert. Okay, are there any other nominations? Okay, hearing none. Let's see, I'm going to receive public comment. So let's open up the lines for public comment on the nominations.
This is the moderator. We have opened the Q&A panel. If you'd like to make a public comment on future president nominations, please click on the Q&A icon on your screen, type "I would like to make a comment" into the text field and submit that to all panelists.
Okay, hearing none, let's close it up.
It is closed.
And move on to the vote. So I'm going to take the roll call. And as you answer, please indicate your choice for president of the two nominations. Jason Weiss. Jason, are you unmuted?
Sorry, I was on mute.
That's okay.
Do we have statements from anyone running? Is that something that's appropriate to hear?
We typically don't do that. Is it Eileen Smiley? Is that something that is appropriate?
If you would like to make them or make that a process, or you can follow what your normal process was. I don't know if any of the nominees would like to make a statement, but I would defer that to the normal process and what the board prefers.
Okay, well, we have never done it before. Maybe what we should do is do a motion to see if anybody wants to do that. So, or take a vote to see if we want to do it. So let's take a vote and see if we want to have statements made by the candidates. So let's start with Cheryl Butler.
It doesn't matter to me because I know we have it in the past, but if they would like to make a statement, I think they should be able to.
Okay. Shirley Kim.
I second that view if the candidates are interested in sharing their thoughts.
Okay.
I welcome that.
Thank you, Shirley. Debbie Veal, since you're one of them.
I'm fine with what Cheryl said too. If
Okay. And Maria Serpa.
I think that there's not a need, but defer to the group should they desire it.
Okay. Song O.
I'm also open to it if the group desires.
Okay. Jig Patel.
I concur what everybody else said. If the
Okay.
group desires, yeah.
Albert Wong.
I'm open either way.
Okay. Ricardo Sanchez.
Yeah, I'm for it. Maybe something new, and it'd be good to connect with the rest of the board since there's no
Okay.
anything else.
Okay. Jason Weiss must be for it, right?
Yeah, if they have something to say, I want to give them.
He better be.
I want to
Okay.
give them the opportunity if they do have something to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Eileen Smiley, do I need to open this up to a public comment?
I don't think so. If nobody had any input into the things, if they make a statement, we may want to open it up to public comment just to see if they have anything else to say.
Okay. Debbie, okay. Then Debbie Veal, you were nominated first. Would you like to make a statement? It's up to you.
yeah, sure, I'll make a statement. I appreciate your nomination, Greg, and I would be honored to be the board president. I've served for a number of years as a vice president, so I have, shadowed the president and understand the requirements of the position. I think I can be, fair as a president. You do have to be fair about, what is before you, making sure that all sides are heard, and that you put together agendas that are appropriate and fill the needs of both the board and the stakeholder comments.
Okay.
So I would appreciate your vote.
Thank you. And Song O, your turn.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Greg, for all your service. And thank you, everybody. And it's an honor to serve with you guys. I appreciate all your time and effort to be on the board. I just want to say that I know that Debbie has a lot of years of experience, and I certainly appreciate, and it is really great. But I also do feel that I have a great understanding of how the board functions. I have a diverse background coming from a pharmacy. I'm one of the practicing pharmacists on the board. I have a very clear and good understanding of what the situation is out there in the working environment of all the pharmacists. I do also have a good experience and understanding of working with legislatures. Also, finally, I will definitely be the one to stand up and lead the board in a way to ensure that we are ensuring public protection. But also, I will be the one to making sure that everything is dealt impartially with fairly, and also all the stakeholders' concerns and questions would be addressed fairly and evenly. And I'll make sure that all of our questions and concerns all the board members may have would also be addressed in a very fair and objective fashion as a president. And thank you for nominating me, Albert. And also thank Albert for serving all those years as well, along with Greg and all the other board members.
Thank you, Sung. Okay, now we will go to the vote. I'll start again with Jason Weiss.
I would support Sung.
Okay. Cheryl Butler.
Would support Sung.
Okay, thank you. Shirley Kim.
I support Sung.
Okay, thank you. Debbie Veal.
I will vote for myself.
Well, I hope so. Maria Serpa.
Debbie Veal.
Okay, thank you. And Sung, I think you're going to vote for yourself, right?
I will do so, Greg.
Hope so. Yeah. Okay. Jig Patel.
Debbie Veal.
Okay. Albert Wong.
Sung Ao.
You made the nomination, so okay. Ricardo Sanchez.
Sung O.
Okay. I vote Debbie Veal. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3. Sung is the next president. Thank you for your votes. Now,
Congratulations.
yes, congratulations, Sung.
Thank you, everybody. I really
Congratulations, Sung.
Okay, next is the nomination for vice president, and I begin with the nomination of Maria Serpa. Do I hear other nominations?
I would like to nominate Debbie Veal.
Thank you. Do you want to do it again?
I would, actually, I think it would be good for somebody else to be vice president. So I appreciate, I'm not sure who that was, but I appreciate your, oh, thank you, Sung. I appreciate that. But I think it would be good for someone else to do it because I've done it for a number of years, and I think it's good for the benefit of the board.
Okay. So are there any other nominations?
Did you need a second for Maria?
Well, I just want to know first if there are any other nominations, and we don't need a second.
Okay. I was going to put it in if you.
Okay, no other nominations, then it's going to be for Maria. So we do have to go to public comment. So let's open for public comment.
This is the moderator. We have opened the Q&A panel. If you'd like to make a public comment, please click on the Q&A icon on your screen. Type "I would like to make a comment" into the text field and submit that to all panelists. And seeing none, would you like me to close the panel?
Yes, please.
Is closed.
Okay, so let's do the vote. Jason Weiss, this will be a yes or no vote.
Yes.
Thank you. Shirley Kim,
Yes.
thank you. Cheryl Butler,
Yes.
thank you. Debbie Veal,
Yes.
thank you. Maria Serpa,
Yes, and
yes.
thank you.
Okay. Sung Oh, Sung?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Jig Patel,
Yes.
thank you. Albert Wong,
Yes.
thank you. Ricardo Sanchez,
Well deserved, yes.
okay, and I'm a yes. It's unanimous. Congratulations, Maria, you're vice president.
Congratulations, Maria.
Thank you
Congratulations.
all. I look forward to the coming year. Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations.
Okay, now we're up to the Office of Treasurer. So I will nominate Jig Patel. Do I have?
Sorry, I didn't hear. What? I'm sorry, I didn't hear. What was the position?
I'm nominating Jig Patel
For
I
what?
was
What position?
for treasurer.
Oh, okay.
I was hoping to nominate Ricardo for treasurer. If
We'll do it.
Actually, I'm not interested in that, but thank
Okay.
you for the thought. I think Jig would do a great job.
Okay. Do I hear other nominations? Okay. Hearing none, let's open up to the public.
This is the moderator. We have opened the Q&A panel. If you'd like to make a public comment, please click on the Q&A icon on the screen. Type "I would like to make a comment" into the text field and submit that to all panelists. And seeing none, would you like me to close the panel?
Yes, please.
It is
Okay,
closed.
we have another yes or no vote. So start with Ricardo Sanchez.
A definite yes.
Thank you. Albert Wong.
Yes.
Thank you. Debbie Veal.
Yes.
Thank you. Shirley Kim.
Yes.
Thank you. Cheryl Butler.
Yes.
Thank you. Maria Serpa.
Yes.
Thank you. Sung Oh.
yes.
Thank you. Jason Weiss.
Yes.
Thank you. And Jig Patel.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. And I vote yes. It's unanimous. Congratulations, Jig. You are the treasurer. Okay, now we'll move on to Organizational Development Committee report, which I will provide. I will provide an update on several items under the purview of the Organizational Development Committee, and note there is one item for action. First item is a budget update. As included in the meeting materials, the board's spending authorization for the year is $29.3 million, a 2% increase from the prior year. According to preliminary budget reports, the board has received $25.2 million in revenue, and the majority of which has come from application and renewal fees. Further, the board has expended about $18.2 million in the first 8 months of the fiscal year, including about $11.1 million in personnel, about $3 million in pro rata, and almost $3.1 million in enforcement-related costs. A review of the fund condition prepared by the department indicates that at the end of the fiscal year, it is projected the board will have 3.9 months in reserve. The second item is board member attendance. The member attendance is summarized in attachment 2. Members, do you have any questions on the budget information or board member attendance report? Hearing none, let's open for public comment.
This is the moderator. We have opened the Q&A panel. If you'd like to make a public comment on either of the two items discussed so far, please click on the Q&A icon on your screen. Type "I would like to make a comment" into the text field and submit that to all panelists. Seeing none, I will close the panel.
Thank you. Okay. Next item is update to board member procedure manual. This is the action item. As included in the meeting materials, the board member procedure manual details the operations and functions of the board. As the board has delegated functions to the president, the delegation was memorialized in the policy statement, but not reflected in the authorized duties. Attachment 3 includes the recommended changes offered by staff. Members, as I open this up to member comments, I'd appreciate your thoughts and will also entertain any motion to accept the changes offered by staff. If you want to know what the changes are, I believe I can give them to you. And basically, it's adding a one-liner to the duties of the president. And the one-liner is performs other duties delegated by the board. And it's also adding a two-liner to the vice president duties that state, in the absence of the president, the vice president may perform duties delegated to the president by the board.
Greg, can I make a motion?
Yes.
I would make a motion that we accept the changes.
Great, thank you. Okay, do I have a second to the motion?
I'll second that.
I can.
This is Jake.
Okay, Jake, thank you. Okay, let's open up to public comment.
This is the moderator. We have opened the Q&A panel. If you'd like to make a public comment on this item, please click on the Q&A icon on your screen. Type "I would like to make a comment" into the text field and submit that to all panelists.
Okay, seeing no comments, let's close that up.
I will close the panel.
We have a motion and a second to approve the suggested changes. So we'll take a vote. And I will begin with Shirley Kim. Shirley, are you unmuted?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, Jig Patel.
Yes.
Thank you. Albert Wong.
Yes.
Thank you. Ricardo Sanchez.
Yes.
Thank you. Sung Oh.
Yes.
Thank you. Maria Serpa.
Yes.
Thank you. Debbie Veal.
Yes.
Thank you. Cheryl Butler.
Yes.
Thank you. Jason Weiss.
Yes.
Thank you. I vote yes. Motion passes. Okay, the next item is a personnel update. As detailed in the meeting materials, the board has a number of vacancies. Just a statement. The next item is meeting calendar for 2021. The meeting calendar for the remainder of 2021 is included in attachment 4. Subsequent to the release of the meeting materials, the board has added a board meeting on May 27th, 2021 to consider petitions. Meeting calendar for 2022. Included in attachment 5 is a proposed meeting calendar for 2022. Members, do you have any comments or questions on the information on the meeting calendar for the remainder of 2021 or the proposed calendar for 2022? Hearing none, I'll open it up to the public.
This is the moderator. We have opened the Q&A panel. If you'd like to make a public comment on this item, please click on the Q&A icon on your screen. Type "I would like to make a comment" into the text field and submit that to all panelists.
Okay, seeing or hearing none, let's close it up.
I will close it.
Okay, we will update the board's website to reflect the additional meeting dates. As indicated on the agenda, the board will now move into closed session for the stated purposes indicated on the agenda. Due to technological limitations, adjournment for the day will not be broadcast. Adjournment will immediately follow closed session and there will be no other items of business discussed. Members of the public, thank you for joining the meeting today. We will reconvene tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Members, we will begin closed session in 10 minutes. And you've all received the notification of the WebEx connection for that meeting.